I want you to watch.
Want to run for an election. And after an election, you go on voicemail. Never engage. Never spoke to anybody. This is the one, and I will talk about it, who has engaged in and out of season. You were in Senate for 8 years, not one word about the IPOB and the agitations in the South.
Did you hear that? Soludo fired that Anduba was in Senate for 8 years. He did not utter one single word about IPOB and agitation in the Southeast. Another shot fired.
You were only engaging when you want to run. Insecurity in Anambra started with the PDP government orchestrated by my brother on my right hand.
Did you hear that again? Soludo accused Anduba that insecurity in Anambra started from PDP, from my brother at the right side, at the right hand. Again, the right hand brother is that Anduba. For those who say Soludo was referring to another person, so you can hear him now, and you can see both of them standing. He said the insecurity in Anambra was orchestrated by my brother at the right hand side. Listen to him again.
When you want to run, insecurity in Anambra started with the PDP government orchestrated by my brother on my right hand.
Did you hear that? The insecurity in Anambra started from PDP, orchestrated by the brother in the right hand, which is Anduba. You see, I want us to have this record. Soludo, you don't do that. You don't do that. You disgrace Anduba, you expose Anduba, you humiliated Anduba, and you think the people that are following Anduba or him himself will ever be happy with the way you exposed and humiliated him? No way. Considering who Anduba is, that you know, you are never going to go. You can't escape Anduba. So I want, after this evening broadcast, let nobody call IPOB again about Anambra insecurity, say insecurity don't see. Let nobody call Simon Ekpa again about Anambra insecurity, say insecurity don't see. The insecurity Soludo was talking about is the same insecurity we are talking about today. So how come it is now Simon Ekpa? How come it is not IPOB? How come it is not autopilot? How come it is now all of you because you hate me, because you don't want Biafra, some of you, because some of you are paid agents, all you do is to go and tax Simon Ekpa. When did this particular insecurity change? I want you people to understand that everything we do will come with evidence. Okay? So tell me, when did this insecurity change from Anduba to Simon Ekpa? I want you to understand that if you accuse Simon Ekpa, the wrath of Biafra, the wrath of God, and the wrath of everything that follows me will be upon you. Believe me. Simon Ekpa have nothing to do with anything going on here. My own job is to preach and inform you. Whatever you do with information, whatever you do out of anger is not my business. So I want everybody to listen and ask Soludo and ask all the people, all the Irans, including Anka, that they are writing everything today. Simon Ekpa boys. When did the security situation change from Anduba to Simon Ekpa? Now, I want you to listen to this. I'm going to go back again.
Bishops in the South. You only engaging when you want to run. Insecurity in Anambra started with the PDP government orchestrated by my brother on my right hand. kidnapping a sitting governor.
Did you hear that? My brother at my right hand kidnapping a sitting governor.
It was a PDP legacy in Anambra.
It was a PDP legacy in Anambra. And remember, Soludo he was addressing this particular insecurity of that time during the time of this campaign. So Soludo is reminding them that the insecurity in Anambra is being orchestrated by the brother at the right hand, which is Adiba. And then he made reference to how Adiba imported kidnapping in Anambra State. It was Adiba who brought kidnapping in Anambra State by kidnapping a city governor. I want you to listen to it again.
My brother on my right hand out the IPOB and the accusations in this season. You were in Senate for 8 years, not one word about the IPOB and the accusations in the South. You only engaging when you want to run. The insecurity in Anambra started with the PDP government and orchestrated by my brother on my right hand, kidnapping the sitting governor. It was the PDP legacy in Anambra. The PDP legacy in Anambra burning down Anambra State. The violence, kidnapping, and so on and so forth on this state was started by PDP.
Did you hear that? Burning down Anambra State started from PDP by my brother at the right hand side.
When my brother on the right hand side,
you hear it very clear,
was at the engine room stoking up all the fires.
Okay, now I will take this thing back and back again until you get to the end.
When my brother on the right hand side was at the engine room stoking up all the fires. I wasn't involved. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, he said he doesn't know what he's talking about. You see, if you understand the embarrassment Soludo gave to Anduba can never forgive him for that embarrassment. That is a very big uppercut. And at the lower abdomen, Soludo punched this man. He punched this man in the teeth. He punched this man in the bromary. Use bromary and punch him. He punched him in the manhood. Punched him everywhere. Soludo punched him uppercut. Gave him all the uppercut in this world. And that Yuba, it can never go down well with him.
Come on. Now there's a white paper that came out.
He said he has no business in that kidnapping. Soludo was still there, firing him. If you look at the three person, you find out that the PDP guy was having fun. The PDP guy was having fun. Soludo had to turn around and face Anduba. He backed the PDP guy. He faced Anduba and punched Anduba. Anduba was saying, I don't know anything about the kidnapping. Soludo was saying, come on, I want you to watch it.
Stoking up all the fires. I wasn't involved. I don't know what he's talking about. I have no business in that. Come on. Now there's a white paper that came out.
Oh, come on.
White paper on the kidnapping. Why did you put my things that have anything to do with it? What are you talking about? Let me tell you, I was special assistant to the president of Nigeria in this country. And knows about security. I know about security.
The same Soludo today is shouting Simon Ekpa in Finland. Thank you very much for that comment. The same Soludo has gone around. He did not know when he shit in the church. Because Anduba can never forgive him for disgracing him like this in public. So Soludo, who have identified where the insecurity of Anambra State come from, who brought it, why the person brought it, and all of a sudden, Soludo switch now to Simon Ekpa. Let me tell you, it does not matter whether there is crisis or sit at home, whether there is, if we are not going to stop, deal with the insecurity that the people or the criminals that you call them that are coming to constitute problem or constitute nuisance during the time of our civil disobedience. Deal with them. It has nothing to do with us. So I want you to listen again.
I was special assistant to the president of Nigeria in this country.
that knows about security. I said, I know something. I know about security. I know about security. Now let me tell you, he's talking about saying that I'm involved, but I'm not involved in anything that concerns kidnapping and everything.
Okay.
I wasn't really in the country when it happened.
Okay.
Outside the country, when they came through to me, 2:45 when I picked the phone, said they want to speak. But they said he wants to speak to the president. I said, well, I took the phone to the president, and the president asked me to call the IT of police and all that stuff, which I did. And the voting was done. So that's why the voting was done. So how could I have been involved? If I was involved, would have made that phone call.
Okay.
Please, absolute silence in the hall so that we can appreciate what the candidates are saying. Thank you very much.
Now, Soludo is about to fire the second shot at Biafra. Remember what I told you? I said there are things you don't say. There are some words you don't use on certain people, especially when you know what they can do. So there are certain words you don't use. Soludo use every word available. Soludo use insulted, Soludo went, crossed the red line on Biafra. Now, Soludo is about to fire another second shot, which is forging secondary school certificate. I am telling you the fact. All these things that I'm telling you today, Biafra can never ever forgive Soludo because the insult was too much. And if you know how politicians and the ego, ego men and their ego. So I want you to listen, and I hope that you send this video to Soludo to know where he shit in the church, and probably he can begin to start solving the insecurity in Anambra from this particular broadcast today. Now, I am not saying that is not to say that I am saying that Biafra is responsible for insecurity. I did not say it, Soludo said it. I didn't say it. So our question now is, when did this insecurity switch from Biafra to IPOB or from Biafra to Simon Ekpa? When did it switch? Now, I want you to watch as Soludo now fired the second shot.
What the candidates are saying. Thank you very much.
When did you graduate? You have secondary school. When did you graduate? You see, well, that is politics. So let us hear them.
Look at you have school certificate. Look at check in 1974. Look at check. I have a 1974. Look at check. Your school certificate in 19 states. It's forgery. Go and check.
It's forgery.
No, you are. I'm not sure you do right.
Soludo disgraced and humiliated Biafra to the highest maximum. In fact, Biafra can never remain the same after this, after this particular debate. Biafra can never remain the same, and he can never ever forgive Soludo. So now, all this while, Soludo identified who was responsible for the insecurity, only to turn around and they say people from other states are the criminals. People from other states after winning the election. Soludo turn around to say that the criminals are from other states. Now, Soludo did not say during this time that the criminals are from other states. Soludo identified Biafra as the criminal. So ask yourself, what has changed? When did this criminality switch from Biafra to us? Or is it because we are calling for sit at home? So I want you to understand. Now, Soludo is now using the criminality he accused Al-Yoruba to fight IPOB and fight Biafra. Instead of Soludo to focus on the people that he have accused and identified as responsible for the insecurity. What did they do? When we call for sit at home, Soludo is now riding on the back of Al-Yoruba insecurity to fight us. You understand what I'm? You understand it? You understand it?
I hope you are getting it now. You are seeing how unstable this very man they call Soludo, how unstable he is. So many of us, when you hear him talk, you think he started yesterday. This man is so unstable, a lying professional, a professional in lying. This is the man who is the forefront today of changing narratives. And we will never allow them to change narratives. That is why we are bringing back old things where we started. Listen to this exposition very well. You'll be glad you did.
Soludo is when we say people should sit at home, and then when people go out, the same people that Soludo is accusing, which is Al-Yoruba people, will go out to foment some trouble. They will go out to destroy people's property. They may even kill people. They just want to make Biafra state ungovernable. And then Soludo will turn around and blame it that people are enforcing it at home. Nobody enforces it at home. Nobody enforces it. Nobody enforces it at home. Because Biafrans are willingly sitting at home for their own freedom. So why should somebody go and start enforcing them to sit at home when they actually, want to sit at home to make their voice heard? We have set record. 3 days to sit at home. The first time in the history of Biafra struggle. We ask Biafra people to sit at home for 3 days. They sit at home without complaining. We are preparing them for what is to come. So I want you people to understand that when these people go and foment trouble during the sit at home, instead of Soludo to call the people name and call them Al-Yoruba people, if he has evidence of that, no. He now decided to use them to fight Biafra struggle. Thinking that when they call Samanetma, I am going to run away from Biafra struggle again. Thinking that when the entire Nigeria is calling me a criminal, calling me this one, calling me my boys, and then I'm going to run away. You don't have nothing to show that anybody is my boy. But I have just come to ask Soludo to stick to this particular accusation. Why is it that the same criminals will make trouble? You now turn it around to say that boy in Finland, because you want to use the criminals of Al-Yoruba to fight the Biafra struggle. It will not work. Even if they like, let them burn entire Anambra State, burn Enugu, let them burn everything to ashes. We cannot stop this Biafra agitation. Never. So if you are thinking that...
Did you hear that point? Soludo is using the gangsters, the criminal, the thugs of Al-Yoruba to fight the struggle. And that is exactly what Soludo is doing today. This very thing that Simon spoke here is exactly what Soludo is doing today. Using the same people he knows that cause the insecurity, they are the people he is using today to fight Biafran struggle, to fight the Biafrans. You see, connect the dot. When you connect the dot, you see that this very thing that Simon mentioned here is exactly what Soludo is doing today. I will take it back a little bit so that we can hear it again. That is exactly what Soludo is doing today.
Struggle. We ask Biafra people to sit at home for 3 days. They sit at home without complaining. We are preparing them for what is to come. So I want you people to understand that when these people go and foment trouble during the sit at home, instead of Soludo to call the people name and call them Al-Yoruba people, if he has evidence of that, no. He now decided to use them to fight Biafra struggle. Thinking that when they call Samanetma, I am going to run away from Biafra struggle again. Thinking that when the the entire Nigeria is calling me a criminal, calling me this one, calling me my boys, and then I'm going to run away. You don't have nothing to show that anybody is my boy. But I have just come to ask Soludo to stick to this particular accusation. Why is it that the same criminals will make trouble? You now turn it around to say that boy in Finland? Because
that is what he's doing up to today.
Of Antifa to fight the Biafra struggle. It will not work. Even if they like, let them burn entire Anambra State, burn Enugu, let them burn everything to ashes. We cannot stop this Biafra agitation. Never. So if you are thinking that you are going to use these criminals imported according to you to fight our sit at home, it is dead on arrival. I want you people to watch Soludo. How Soludo fired and punched Anduba, and Anduba can never forgive. Never.
Double state. It's wondering.
Go and check it. The school is there.
No, you are. I don't know what you're like. I don't know what you're like.
Soludo came out here for Anduba. He left the BBP guy and he faced Anduba. He was, humiliating Anduba, the highest humiliation in the life of Anduba. Anduba have never been humiliated like this before.
All right. So let me tell you
Soludo,
Yes.
And today, three of us are from the central government. I got in armies were from my roads, and armies was less than 2 of their roads, less than other roads. And these are people who have held high positions that I'm shocked that indeed are actually in the future on this debate. You've been advising them for the past 16 years. You've been advising them on the roads. They're saying all this, long English here.
Anduba, you can see the anger on his face. You can see the disappointment, anger. He said, you come here and start speaking all this God English. I want the frustration, everything. So Anduba can never ever in his life until he died forget this thing. Nobody has ever disgraced Anduba like this in public, but in front of the world. Now, my question is, if Soludo identified that Anduba is responsible for the insecurity, important kidnapping in Anambra and all that, how can Soludo now understand that Anduba will go back and make his government ungovernable? If he has the quality of importing criminality in Anambra, as Soludo accused him of, and
yes,
accused him, for Soludo accused him. So is Soludo really thinking that Anduba will go and sit down and cross his hand and he's going to have a smooth sailing in Anambra?
Of course not.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Big lie.
So now watch.
And indeed are actually in the future on this debate. You've been advising them for the past 16 years. You've been advising on the roads. They're saying all this, long English here. You've been advising them on what the roads are all about, on how they take care of the roads.
Yes, I know what I did. I know what I did. I know what a federal government, you are consequences, federal
Now, you see, Anduba was dismantled, like disabled. Soludo disabled Anduba with attack from up and down. And these attacks are criminality. Attack on the integrity. Soludo presented Anduba as a criminal. You understand what it is? In front of the world. Now, you can imagine where Anduba have associated in the US. Anduba was staying in the US. You can imagine where Anduba have associated in the US. You can imagine where Anduba, have friends, business people, because he has made connection. And then Anduba will now tell people to come and watch his debate for governorship debate of Anambra State. And his business associate will be listening to a central bank governor, a former central bank governor of Nigeria, telling this man is a criminal. Telling you how this man is a criminal, how he imported kidnapping. I am telling you, a central, and you know, a central bank governor, you are going to hold his word. Okay? Telling you that this man is a criminal. This man is a kidnapper. This man did not go to school. This man forged his YX certificate. My brother, you can never, how can Soludo reverse this? You can never reverse it. So, you understand what I'm talking about? So, if Anduba has invited the people from America, the business associate from London, people from Europe, come on, I am running for governor of Anambra State, one of the biggest states in Nigeria, the most economic hub of Nigeria, come and watch my debate. And they followed him, bam, on the Arise TV. I have my business friend called Anduba is running for governor in Anambra State. Bam! They go and start watching. Only for them to hear the escape. You see, let me tell you, if you do not understand the integrity of Soludo as a then, not now, integrity of Soludo as a then, as an ex-central bank governor of Nigeria, you can let us use Dr. Malafia, for example. You see, Dr. Malafia said something. He was a deputy central bank, a deputy governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Malafia. So he said something, everybody take it serious. So now, when Abiba invited his friend, when Abiba invited the business associate to come and watch his debate, only for them to come and see that Abiba is a criminal. Ha! Oh my goodness. Only for them to come to hear that Abiba is a kidnapper. Only for them to come and hear that Abiba did not go to school. Only for them to, and Abiba could not defend himself because he was, thrown off balance. And all he could do is, you come here to speak long grammar. And inside him, you know that Abiba left that place like empty. So, I want Soludo to go back to your board and see whether what you did to Abiba here, and if you say that Abiba is a criminal, whether Abiba, who you say imported kidnapping into Anambra, and according to you, Abiba kidnapped a whole sitting governor. If somebody that has capability to kidnap a sitting governor,
Imagine.
you understand what the person will do to the government.
Imagine.
The person will spend every money to make sure you are not comfortable in your government. So, Soludo, leave IPOB alone. Solve the problem you created. Leave Simon Ekpa alone, Soludo. You can't stop me. You can't stop Biafra. Go and solve the problem you created for yourself and for your government. I am not saying that Anduba is responsible for the insecurity. But Soludo, from what Soludo said now, I have only been doing analysis. I am only connecting the dots for you to know what is happening in Anambra today. How come Soludo all of a sudden, you don't remember Anduba? You only focus on Simon Ekpa. How come, just overnight, Soludo forgot about Anduba? Soludo don't remember that Anduba, he accused Anduba that he was the one who brought all this insecurity before the election. So what kind of switch is that? I want you to watch.
If you go out there and look at it, there are over 1,000 buses branded. What are they doing? They're branded with Soludo's. Just like you want to go to 1,000 buses branded, and people are suffering in the state. They are no, what are you doing?
You see, Abiba has nothing to say about all the accusation from Soludo. The only thing he said is that Soludo have 1,000 buses. Soludo have 1,000 buses painted and people are hungry in the state. That is the only thing Abiba can say. It is shameful.
And in terms of awards, talks about awards received as central bank government. I was in bank in those days. I really don't want to delve into things we shouldn't be talking about. But I can tell you, when we stopped our cost failure regulation, when he was central bank governor, the number of jobs that we lost is unprecedented after he left. And you know why? Anyway,
let's leave that one another. And he's also spoken about Transcorp. He said it a number of times. Quite frankly, Transcorp was founded, sold shares for 750 kobo, crushed 50 kobo. We came on board to rescue Transcorp after he was left in the government. And again, precisely, he had no role in hiring talent. Because don't run with him the same he hired Valentine. I wish Nicholas Okoye and the other one video to have recruited the policy that has come out from my dear brother and friend. It's only me, let me in the villa. I don't need me, let's let me in the villa. I will
Look, another shot fired by Soludo. Soludo called Anduba a cleaner. Soludo accused Anduba of being a house help of Obasanjo. That is not, oh my goodness. And Anduba could not defend himself.